Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I don't know what's going on. My last two videos I've had to record twice. This is the second time I'm going to basically tell you this same story, but you won't have heard it because cut a long story short, does anyone have this thing that happens on their Mac? If you have a MacBook, right? That the memory is full, and then you look to see what exactly is taking up so much space, and it's under other, and then how do you delete it? So I went online and I found this thing that you could use to delete it, but I had my memory card on the side, like I'd inserted it because I was editing my last video, and then I thought there were clips from the last video that was there that I'd already used, so I was trying to delete it, thinking it was deleting it from iMovie, but it deleted it off the card, and then it deleted the video I hadn't even posted. It's just long. Anyway, so I'm a bit annoyed because the video was very fresh. So I came back, was it last week or the week before? I've been back a couple of weeks, but I shot the video, I recorded my experience on my flight back to Lagos 2 days after, so that it would be really fresh in my memory. So I'm sorry, but hopefully I will try to remember everything. So hi guys, sorry, I just had to get that off my chest. Hope you're good, and yeah, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about flying with a toddler. So my son is now 14 months. He'll be 15 months in like tomorrow, but whatever. By the time you watch this, he'll be 15 months. Anyway, and I flying solo with a toddler. So not just flying with like a whole bunch of people, flying solo with a toddler. And yes, I just want to recount my experience on my flight. Oh yeah, coffee. Oh, that tastes so good. Okay. Anyway, so he goes to bed at like 7:30, right? And the flight is at 10:30, so let's bear that in mind. So I have 4 suitcases. I get to the airport. He kind of nods off in the car slightly, but not really. He sleeps in the car maximum 20 minutes, if that. Get to the airport, check-in is fine. And I have him in a baby carrier, so you know those things where you can put your baby in the front and you're kind of like, they're strapped in, and then go through security. And that's the thing, because he's trying to sleep, but obviously because of security it's going to be disruptive. So even if I decided to put him in the pram, I have the pram. Basically you have to put the pram through, you've got to take him out. You can't walk through with him in the harness. You have to take him out because they have to scan the belt, the thing you're wearing as well, scan everything. So at this point homeboy is wide awake, and it's like 8:30 to 9, right? No problem, because I am fully prepared, okay? And really like I'm really prepared. And everyone told me it's a night flight, he sleeps through the night, he will sleep through the night. Yeah, okay, I'll get to that part soon. Yeah, so I'm fully prepared. I've got snacks, I've got games, you name it, I have got it, okay? So we get through immigration, and then get to the lounge, and what happens there? Yeah, so at this point I put him in the pram because he's too heavy for me to just be carrying, and he's awake, so let him have a look at what's going on. So that's fine. Get to the lounge, and I start to, he's now getting a bit, you know when you're like overly tired and you just start acting a little bit wired. So he's just like screaming, but not like crying, he's just excited and whatever. So give him some snacks, give him some toys. And what I did was I had toys and games that he'd never seen before, so it's all brand new and exciting. But the thing is, like, I mean, you know, children have a very short attention span. This boy basically just got bored of everything I gave him really quickly, and I thought, okay, the iPhone will be the last resort. He's watching something on a screen will be the last resort. Watching something on the screen will be the last resort. That's the last thing I'm going to resort to, you know, because at least that will hold his attention. Anyway, time is going. I give him everything, give him loads of snacks. He's okay. And then he's just starting to freak out. He's really tired at this point. He's freaking out. So I'm like, okay, you know what? let me just give him the phone and let him watch some cartoon baby shark, do, baby shark. If you know, you know. Okay, anyway, I gave that to him, and yeah, within 5 minutes he's just like, whatever, toss. And I'm just thinking, yeah, I've run out of options. Anyway, at this point we get on the flight, and this is where things start to take a little bit of a turn, and not for the better. What's that noise? Okay, yeah, so things start to take a turn. So I get on the flight and put everything away. I'm allowed to take the pram onto the plane, so they stow that away from me, get on board, and then time to sit down. And you know, before takeoff you have to sit down for a while, especially from Heathrow Airport. There's usually a queue, so we're waiting, and at this point, and then the snacks finish. Right, and also I'm also concerned because he's eating a lot. I'm concerned that he's going to throw up. So I'm just like, crying baby or baby that's puking, I would take crying baby, because like, what, that is just a whole lot of mess, So the snacks finish, he's overeaten, and then everything's already up in the little stowaway things, whatever you call them. I don't remember what you call them. My bags are up there because I've got some stuff down there. I've got his milk, I've got a whole bunch of stuff, and I think if I give him his milk before we go, he'll you know, go to sleep. So snacks finish, and I try to give him his milk, and he doesn't want to drink the milk, probably because he's had too much food. So I'm like, okay, try, no. And at this point, he's been sitting down so long, you know, he's strapped in. He now wants to get up and move around. And it's like, we're on the tarmac, we're good to go, but we're waiting for the signal. And he is just not having any of it. So I have nothing to occupy him. Well, I've got toys, but he doesn't want them. He's just antsy, he's tired. It's 3.5 hours past his bedtime. He's annoyed, he wants to sleep, he wants to lie down. I've got him sitting on my lap, he wants to move around, and he just bursts into tears, and he cries and cries some more. And did I say he cried? He cried, kept crying, just kept crying. You know when you're on the flight and the baby's just crying and crying, and after a while, like, people just stop making eye contact with you. So he just cried, and I just thought, you know, at this point, I was just like, he was just on my lap crying, wriggling around, and I was just like, well, there's nothing I can do about this. And I kid you not, as soon as we got into the air, I mean, I think as soon as the wheels of the plane came off the ground, he went to sleep like magic. So at this point, I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus, you know, oh, so happy about that. Great. Put him down, put some, you know, blankets, make it comfortable for him, put him down. I'm just sitting on the edge for about an hour, just getting things together, put all the crap that, you know, I'd like, you know, the nonsense I'd probably given him, the packets, whatever, put them in the overhead compartment, that's what it's called. Yeah, put it in my bags, all that kind of stuff, make sure everything's okay. If I need anything for him, nappies, just whatever, just different things, change the milk because, you know, he didn't want it, maybe he'll want it later, get a fresh bottle, all that kind of stuff, leave everything, got his little toy that he likes to sleep with, put that down. Brilliant, I am prepared. So at this point, it's about 45 minutes into the flight. The air hostess says to me, oh, madam, there's a spare seat, and it's kind of like opposite. Would I like to, you know, relax there so that I can actually get some sleep? So I'm like, okay. At first I'm like, okay, that's a good idea because I can't sleep. So I said, okay, no problem. So she helps me make up the bed and all of that, and I go to go and lie down. And I kid you not, I literally reclined, and 2 minutes later, I was like, are you kidding me? So I go, and he's getting up and he's trying to go back to sleep. He's uncomfortable. So I, you know, soothe him. And basically, to cut a long story short, it doesn't work, and he's up. So he sleeps for an hour. Yes, he sleeps for 1 hour on that flight. So I spend the rest of the flight walking up and down the aisle, because if I sit down, he doesn't want to sit down. He's trying to play with stuff. He's trying to throw something over to the next seat. He's calling the guy next to us daddy. The man looks like he's 90 years old. Okay, maybe because he wears glasses and my husband wears glasses. So I just need to preoccupy him. So I walk down, go to where the air hostesses, air stewards are, and then chat with them for a bit. And luckily I bought the baby carrier on with me, and because he's heavy and he's like half my size, like, to God, he's half my size. So holding him just like on my hip it just won't work. So it's good to have that so that the weight is distributed evenly. So I'm walking up and down, and then there's turbulence. And when there's turbulence, you have to go and sit down. And he doesn't want to sit down. Then he starts crying. And then for about 20 minutes, then they turn off the seatbelt sign. Now I have to go back. And basically, to cut a long story short, it was just a mess because I was just exhausted and he just didn't sleep. He didn't sleep. And that was fine because it is what it is, you know. I mean, it's not his house. He doesn't know where he is, that kind of thing. But what was not surprising was, you know, I'm on a Nigerian flight back to Lagos. And, not Nigerian, it's not a Nigerian company, but you know what I mean. It's people. Yes, people and their opinions. So we're by the like bar area. And I'm there talking to the one of the flight attendants, and a lady comes and she's like, and she's not old, she's not young, but she's not old, like, you know what I mean. And she's like, oh, you know, she's asking how old he is, and I'm fine. And she's looking very intrigued, and she says, oh, you know, so that he just seemed really, oh, so sorry, she tried to touch him. Yeah, she tried to touch my baby, which is fine, goo goo gaga, all that stuff. So she tried to touch him, and he was like, he's already irritable. He does that once, and then she tries to do it again. So she tries to do it, and he goes, and she's just like, that why is he not friendly? And I'm like, he doesn't know you. And sorry, who are you again? Okay. So she's like, why is he not friendly? And I don't even answer, because at this point, I don't fully understand the question. And then she says, oh, that do you take him to crash? You know, does he hang around people? And I'm just thinking, does she think he just sits in the house? Like, what is she talking about? And I'm like, yeah, he goes out a lot. You know, he goes to like play groups and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, I'm not putting him in nursery yet because he's too young. I mean, I don't have to, so, you know. And he's I said, yeah, you know. She was like, that he's just, you know, she goes, that when we were taking off, he was just very upset. He was very, you know, he just seemed very distraught, a whole distraught. Okay, just seemed, you know. And I said, well, he's 14 months old on a flight with a bunch of strangers. He's not at home, and it's 3.5 hours past his bedtime. He's cranky and he's tired, you know. And she's like, yeah. Then she goes, oh, are you still breastfeeding? I said, no, I'm not, you know. She now goes, hey. I said, yeah. I said, I went back to work and it just wasn't possible. And she was like, you know, because, you know, I'm an advocate. Then the air steward goes, sorry, ladies, you need to go sit down. The captain has put on the fasten seatbelt sign. We've got some turbulence. And I said, you're an advocate? And then she didn't finish. Because I thought what she was gonna say is that she's an advocate for breastfeeding and breastfeeding till the child is 14 years old or something like that. My point is, you don't know my circumstance. You don't know what is going on in people's lives. Fine, even if I stopped breastfeeding when he was 3 months, that's none of your business. It is none of your business. Anyway, I just found it so interesting that she was so intrigued. I guess maybe he stopped her from sleeping or he disrupted her sleep. Oh well, I'm sorry. Get a private jet next time, I guess. So that was that. But what was really surprising was another lady, of course, came up to me, and at this point I was just, you know, she was in and out of sleep. I could see where she was sleeping, and it was her husband that my son kept calling daddy. So an older couple. She looked like she was about 80 or something, and I'll never forget, she was wearing this Ankara dress and this little grey sweater, and she came up to me, and I was, at this point, he was really cranky, and I thought he was about to break down, like we're going to start crying again. It was 2 hours before we were about to land, and they started serving breakfast, and he was just, so I put him in the holder, and then I was just swaying him, and I could see he was like kind of going to sleep. So he now finally fell asleep. I was like, thank God. And maybe it was an hour before we were gonna land. Yeah, it was an hour before we were gonna land, not 2 hours. And so she comes up to me, she goes, "Hi, how are you, my dear?" I said, "I'm fine." And I feel really bad because, you know, I prejudge the situation, because I always think, oh, an older person is going to start, because I've been on another flight where an older lady was like, "Isn't he cold? Cover him. Shut up." Okay, so she comes up to me and she's like, "Oh, my dear, how are you?" I said, "I'm fine, thank you." She goes, "Oh, can I pray for you?" And I said, "Yes, ma, please, that would be nice." And she said, "Look, let me tell you something, that I have children and I have been where you are, and it is not easy." She goes, "I know the suffering that you are enduring on this flight. You have not slept. I've seen you walk up and down for hours with this boy. I've seen you walk up and down, and I've seen you go away so that you won't disturb people if he's making noise." She goes, "He's a baby. He doesn't know who these people are. He's on a flight with a whole bunch of strangers. He's not in his room. He's not in his bed. So how else is he supposed to act? Of course he's going to do whatever he wants to do." And she goes, "My dear, I just want to know that God is going to continue. He's going to continue to bless you." And she started praying for me. And I was just like, you know, it was just very interesting, because I didn't know I needed to hear that at that point, but once I heard it, I needed to hear it. Does that make sense? And God bless her. I should have asked for her name. She was just, it was just, I mean, she was God sent. So that was just really, really nice. And it was just it was a very stressful flight. We landed and he was asleep finally, and we get through immigration. My husband is there waiting, and get home. And I don't know if this has ever happened to anyone, when it's just like you're so tense, you're so tired, and also the 6 months of stress, the nanny issues I had over there, the childcare issues, the taking care of him all day, then working at night, then him waking up at 4 a.m., the not sleeping, other issues that, you know, I won't divulge because that's just way too much info. You know, maybe another day, maybe sometime in the future I will do it. All that stuff, you know, when it's just like everything just comes to a head and you finally get home to your house, to your space, to your bed. And I literally got into bed and I burst into tears. I think they were tears of just relief. Like, I could actually just hand him over to someone for a little while, and I could just have like a few hours to just lie down and sleep and think. And but in all, we give thanks. So yeah, that is basically my solo flight to Lagos with my baby. So I think I know what I would do differently next time. I was worried about the puking thing because he's thrown up in the car before just randomly, and I didn't know if it was motion sickness or whatever, so I was just very worried about that. The milk I used, I think, might have had something to do with why he didn't want to drink the milk. So yeah, I've learned from that flight, and you know, I'm not the first to do it, I won't be the last. And props to all you people out there, mothers and fathers, because I've seen, you know, guys on a flight with their children alone, doing it by themselves, and all the people that carry more than one. I salute you, because it is not easy. So yeah, hope you guys are good. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and also please let me know what you want me to talk about. Like, I don't just have to talk about baby stuff, I can talk about other stuff. It's just that, you know, I'm just talking about what I know and what's going on in my life. So yeah, have a fantastic day, stay blessed, and I will speak to you soon. Kisses, love, and blessings.